Believe me, Regal, that fiery passageway to hell was most certainly man-made. I mean, the passageway, obviously, but the fire. It was too terrifying not to have been made by man. I've been alone with my thoughts a lot in the past 12 days. I've been thinking a lot about the world we live in. How scary it can be, how terrible people must have been to let it come to this, how bleak it is, the terrible things it makes us do. But then you find this man, this kind, benevolent man. I mean, what are the odds? The one room in an almost entirely empty city, and you stumble into the one room with a person in it. And on top of that, he's not even trying to kill you or take your things. The first thing he does is remind you of the sweetest woman to ever grace the habitat, share his treasures, points you in the right direction, and then keeps praying even though he knows you don't understand each other. It's like he just knew that you needed to hear a friendly voice. That you needed... Seems like one of those angels of old, sent to guide and guard you in your time of need. Almost makes you want to believe in God. Anyway, I'm glad you found him. And I'm glad you're getting closer to finding that entrance. Don't be so sure I'll get that door open before you find it. I have a lot more faith in your abilities than mine. But, Regal, I can't wait to explore this place with you and to show you everything I found so far. You know what I found just this morning? A library. An honest-to-God library. And the kicker is that it was sealed. Completely sealed. Almost everything in there is still intact. Think of all of the near-forgotten knowledge that's inside. I think you'll love it. Jin had her name day party this evening. Hopper made me go. He said that I'd been spending too much time by myself. It seems like people are starting to notice that I'm not acting normal. And on top of that, I think they're starting to notice that I'm actively acting strangely. So, I felt like I needed to go to keep up appearances. But I had a little bit of fun. It was comforting to see all of these people celebrating life and happiness. And it also made me feel a little bit of the same. But then it was infuriating. Because they're having a party while you're out there fighting for your life. But I had to smile and make small talk. I think I'm making progress on that goddamn door. A couple of the kids that are always running around Central saw me working and insisted on helping. And you know the way that they are. Their helping consisted of nothing but questions about what we were doing while they unorganized my toolbox. I felt like a real piece of shit having to lie to them. Hopefully they don't run back to their parents telling them about the adventure they had today helping Mr. Tops fix the water reclamation pumps. Someone might ask a question. But I think people's questions went right out the window later. There was a massive power outage in the habitat. Like, everything was offline. And I'm pretty certain it didn't have anything to do with what I've been working on. But anyway, nothing was running. Not the lights, not the air recyclers, not the lifts, nothing. Except power to those goddamn doors. Literally nothing in this habitat had power except those. It has to mean they draw power from a completely different source than the rest of the habitat. A system that has, until now, gone completely unknown. If I can find that, it might be the key to getting those fucking things open. But that's a big fat if, because I have no idea where to start looking for it. Anyway, Regal, I'm really glad you're safe and moving forward. I can't wait to hear from you again. I love you. Tops out.
Hey laptops, it's day 12 of Regal wandering the wastelands. I woke up early and left before dawn even. I just started to feel so unsafe knowing that someone knew where I was. And I hate being so suspicious of everyone all the time. But I also know that those suspicions keep me alive, so I don't want to stop being suspicious. I am ready for this adventure to be over. So I left early, before dawn, snuck out like a thief. The streets were empty, unnaturally quiet it seemed, so I kept to the shadows, going from alleyway to alleyway. I'm glad I had those moments from that tower to look out, to look over the streets and find a way through them. I don't know, just going through the ruins and gaping windows. Maybe I'm in a part of the city where there are fewer patrols and no one living, but it was a strange emptiness when I know that people live here. So I feel like someone was watching me. And maybe they were. No one approached, so I kept going, slipping from bit of cover to bit of cover, trying to watch my back. I gotta say, being in this city feels more dangerous than our city. And yeah, I want to get through it quickly. I made my way to what I think is the point where yesterday's priest, holy man, pointed me to. And I can see that there's an entrance. I'm going to have to figure out how to get in probably tomorrow morning before dawn. I have a couple of ideas. It's probably going to take some brute force, but I need to watch long enough to make sure that it's not guarded at all. Anyhow, nothing else happened today. I slowly went through the city. It also felt strange not to be scavenging, to not be looking for things to take with me. Of course, if I'd seen something that I could carry away easily that I thought would be useful, I would have. I'm not leaving anything behind, you know? But I didn't come across anything that looked even remotely useful. I'm sure you could have found something, but... So that's it for today. And I gotta say, Tops, I should have said this yesterday, but I was so distracted by the other guy. I will always need you. And don't you worry, you are definitely pretty enough for the amorous outsider. I mean, I'm not going to kick you out, even if I become more skilled at all this mechanical stuff. I'll still need you. But if you wanted a career change, I'm sure you could make it work at the amorous outsider. And no one can ever listen past you starting to talk about switch matrices. No one knows what that is. No one but you has any idea what a switch matrix is, much less talking about them in plural. So I think that was a really good distraction technique. You should think of some more stuff to talk about that nobody listens to. Just think of all the topics that make my eyes glaze over. Store those up and pull them out when somebody catches you. But seriously, I'm worried about all the chances you're taking. I don't want to get back and have you in the break. I really don't. But I also can't ask you to stop trying. I gotta say, I didn't think those blast doors would stay closed for 12 days. Isn't anyone getting worried that they won't reopen? I mean, the people can't live like that forever. You'll run out of food, supplies, parts, even with a whole bunch of areas that have never been explored. Anyhow. Oh, looks like those batteries. I didn't find more batteries today. Looks like things got a little hung up a bit. Anyhow, so I'll end here. Take care of yourself, Tops. Don't get burned by everlasting fire or knocked on the head by isolationists. You gotta stay pretty for the amorous outsider. I love you. Regal out.